Hey, welcome back, you guys, to the administrative video part of our class. Basically, let's talk about what's going to happen for 5 weeks, you guys. You have 5 weeks for game 243. You'll have 5 projects that will get you a final level, totally done in XNA using a professional editor. All right, you'll have 5 quizzes basically that actually will be on a post-mortem type of question of every week work, basically. All right. This is very similar to what you did in Game 108. The only difference, it's a much bigger scale, it's a realistic scale now with a professional editor. You're gonna have as many layers as you want in the editor. You know, you can move them as much as you want, forward, backward. You can have a different speed for the layers so they move differently. So give you the, that effects you have when you watch the side road, and what's far away is slow, what's close to you is very fast, all right? When you're in the car, obviously driving. So the first week, you have quite a bit of work. You're going to get going with first designing a mini game document, and it cannot be the same as Game 108, and it can be any type of 2D game, side scroller, top-down view, any isometric point of view, doesn't matter, platformers, adventure game, whatever you are looking for, but 2D, that's what I want. 5 to 10 pages at the most, that's your mini game. Then you're going to have to read the description of the XNA specification for the game engines, okay, you guys, which is basically you're gonna have to write down after that in the minigame doc what size file you're gonna choose, all right, because it's HD, which is high definition, and SD standard definition, and also what format of file you are going to use, because there's some file that works and some that don't work. Okay, you'll be graded on your choices. Be wise. Remember that your full level needs to be 12 to 13 HD frames. Any way you want it together. All right, which is pretty big, you guys. And that needs to be tiled in the editor also. Okay, so properly in editor that we'll see. I'll have a video for you guys for that. Then after you've done your minigame doc with all the information of the files and so forth, you also have to put the list of what assets you're gonna need in your game doc, in your minigame doc, and how they will be layered out from the back to the front. Okay, and how you think you're gonna cut platforms. I want you guys to have platforms in your game though, even if it's a top view, and how they would be cut. It's kind of important to do, all right? Then after that, on top of that, you are going to rough draft, basically line art, your first level, all right? And scan it and clean it up, so you have a rough idea how you wanted stuff and how big and the scaling of things, okay? That's very important to me. That's your first week. You have a quiz on that with a post-mortem. The last question about how you did your business, basically. All right. Now, in week 2, you guys, that's where it starts to get interesting, and that's where you're gonna start choosing seamless style, seamless texturing, patterns, and tiling to create if you have a sky, the sky obviously, and every background beside the playfield. All right, and obviously not the decals yet. And obviously not the platforms or the bonuses and the props, just all the backgrounds, okay? And it depends if you're a top-down view or a side view, okay? And that's fairly important, okay? So now that's week 2, you guys. It's gotta be done properly, and it's gotta be shaded fully, all right? And it's gotta be also tiled in the engine itself, all right? In the level editor properly. Okay, now you take your quiz 1, then in week 2, in week 3, sorry about that, you're gonna create your playfield. Okay, this is where your main playfield will be. If it's a side scroller, you have a playfield right here, same thing for platformers. For the top view, you'll have the trail and stuff like that. This is where you create your playfield for the whole level. You cut it properly, shade it properly, make it seamless, and then tile it into the level, how it should be from your actually game document and your line art. Okay, or your rough draft basically. And that's week 3, and you'll have a quiz on postmortem on that, on how to do that basically. Alright, now in week 4, this is when it gets a little bit different than what you did before, actually very different. This is when you're gonna have to create platforms, props, and bonuses. And you can create whatever the heck you want in those. But I want at least 3 platforms, 3 different platforms, 3 props, and 3 bonuses. Alright, you guys, and I'll explain to you how to cut them, how to place them properly, with a shadow layer under it, which is part of basically, and that needs to be tiled in the engine right away, and the shadow under it is part of week 5. And week 5 is the weathering and the refining of the level. I make it more unique by using decals. Okay, in decals you can create dirt on the floor, alright, to show where the path of the player should be going, and so forth, signalization, and a lot of things to hide the tiling that we have before. Because that tiling is really heavy and really show tiling most of the time, so the decals are there. And that gives us to week 5. We'll have to do sprites for the props and the bonuses, obviously, and we'll do nice sequences or sprites, full sprites itself. It depends what you want. X and A takes both, okay? And that doesn't matter for me. I'll show you both. Okay? Well, I'll see you guys in the first real video. Have a good one.